Hi, my name is Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers. Welcome to the 7th video in Discmaker series about music copyrights and royalties. If you haven't seen the previous videos, click the link in the description below to start with the first one. I promise it'll be worth your while. Today I'm going to be covering sync licensing, or officially synchronization licensing. So what is sync licensing? Well, whenever music is used in another medium, most commonly video, it is synchronized with that medium. Sync license generally refers to a legal agreement between the copyright owner of a piece of music and a person who wants to use that piece of music, which permits the synchronization of the copyrighted music to another type of content. Sync licensing consists of two parts, and if you've been following our video series, you know the two copyrights for any song. There is the sync license for the composition, and then there's the master use license for the sound recording. Both copyrights need to be licensed and paid for in a sync deal. Interestingly enough, a successful sync placement will also earn the rights owners a public performance royalty in many cases. Imagine that your song has been synced up to, say, an Apple ad that's airing 50 times a day on national TV. The performance royalties will add up really quickly. So who licenses songs for sync? Generally speaking, the vast majority of sync deals will fall into the following four categories: movies and movie trailers, TV shows, TV and radio commercials, and video games. There are some additional edge cases for independent cinema and what we call micro syncs that generate usually low-level income for licensing content to indie video creators, including for video streaming channels like YouTube. You've probably heard talk about a music supervisor, so let's talk a little bit about what a music supervisor does. In a traditional sync deal, a one-to-one sync deal, a video creator may look for a certain type of sound to accompany a particular scene. And to find the right song, they'll frequently rely on a music supervisor. Music supervisors often search for music by genre, by mood, by time era, by energy or tempo or instruments, vocal type, other search criteria. This is why, for you as an artist and songwriter, taking care of the metadata to fill in those tags when you submit your music to sync libraries is critical, a first step to unlocking your passive sync opportunities. You've probably also heard mention of sync licensing companies or sync libraries. So there are indeed a number of music licensing companies, frequently called or referred to as sync libraries, that represent artists and songwriters to music supervisors. As you know, Discmakers is partnered with CD Baby for digital distribution. What you may not know is CD Baby also has a sync licensing division that regularly places songs by independent artists in film, in TV, and in commercials. Generally speaking, the expertise of these sync libraries depends on their network of music supervisors that they know and on their knowledge of the catalog they represent. They tend to be pretty boutiquey, and they tend to know the catalog. CD Baby's sync catalog is too big for anyone to know every track. So that is why they use sophisticated technology to allow music supervisors to do intelligent searches of their extensive sync catalog to find exactly the right track they're looking for. Because of the size of their sync catalog, CD Baby Sync has been successful at placing extremely obscure niche music in ads, in TV shows, etc., earning a nice license fee for the artist and for the composer in the process. Sync libraries traditionally take a fee for every sync transaction they negotiate. The agent's fee varies depending on the demand for an artist's music and on the size of the potential sync opportunity. And it usually falls anywhere between as low as 20% to sometimes over 50% of the value of the sync. You've probably also heard that sync libraries ask for exclusivity. And one point to consider indeed when signing a sync representation deal is exclusivity. Most sync libraries will ask for exclusive rights to represent the artist's music for the duration of the contract. this can be a bit of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, exclusivity should motivate the agent to pitch your music. On the other hand, if after several pitches the agent has been unsuccessful, they could lose interest in you and your music will just sit on a shelf for the duration of the deal. That said, exclusives are part of the sync library landscape, and as an independent artist, you likely will have limited and probably no ability to negotiate the terms of your sync agreement with a library. They will promise that they will pitch your music, and you will have to decide if you believe them or not. So what about the deal itself? Well, when a sync offer is presented, there are two main factors that you as the artist will need to consider. The total earnings, which includes the licensing lump sum up front, as well as any long-tail public performance royalties, and the overall promotional value of the sync. The price is negotiated based on the type and value of the sync. Is it an ad for a major brand? Is it a blockbuster movie? Is it an independent production? It also depends greatly on your prominence as an artist. A big name artist will collect a much higher fee than an emerging band. A big factor in the value of the sync is also the promotional value of the placement. Imagine you got that ad, that Apple ad, and it's airing 50 times a day on national TV. It has huge promo value. This will drive the price of the sync down. In the end, the whole negotiation process can be boiled down to the more the artist wants to do the sync, the lower the fee will be. As an independent artist and songwriter, however, you can offer one advantage. As both artist and songwriter, you can do a one-stop deal with the music supervisor, which is attractive because it is much easier to do than separately negotiating with an artist or label for the sound recording and then separately again with the publisher for the composition rights. There are quite a few other technicalities to sync licensing, including the scope of use, the term of the license, the territory, the nature of use. However, I'm already way over time here, and you're going to have to rely on your agent as soon as you get one to educate you on these matters. But before I go, what do you need to do if you want to make your music available for sync licensing? Well, as an indie artist, it can be overwhelming to figure out where to go and what to do to put yourself in the best position to get sync placements. So here's my advice to you. Before signing anything, do some research online about sync and do some research about sync libraries. If you know anyone in film or TV or at a sync library, talk to them. If you know an artist who's gotten sync placement, ask them how they did it. And if you don't really know where to go, what I would recommend is check out CD Baby's sync licensing service. Their whole library is available for searching at www.cdbabylicensing.com. And they've got tons of music supervisors searching that site and their library all the time and have recent major placements for Nordstrom, for the Stranger Things Netflix series, for Volkswagen, Jeep, and many others. It costs nothing to sign up, and it's a bit like a lottery ticket. You may get lucky. So there you go. I hope you found this helpful, and look forward to seeing you next time.